it's personal.
The Local 3 Storm Alert Team, accurate forecast for your day.
You know, there seems to be kind of a nationwide concern if you watch the news, if you're having conversations at home with your family about the future of the workforce in this country. You don't always know how to advise, how you encourage people to even go to work, much less have companies know how they can keep employees happy and glad to be there. So we're going to kind of help you a little bit this morning and pick the brain of a very expert man. His name is Jim Rowe, and he has written a new book called Get Your Ducks in a Row, R-O-W-E, like his last name. But he's going to motivate you and talk some practical advice as well on how to keep the workplace fulfilling in years to come. So nice to talk to you this morning.
Same thing, Julie.
I know I kind of glossed over the nuts and bolts of it. I'll let you do that. But you were sharing with me that the book you've written really it's a fictitious book with a great moral at the end of it, and that is that work should be fulfilling for people.
Yes, and the biggest issue that the workforce is struggling with right now is this, we all need a lot of skills. And the biggest skills gap right now is while 75% of managers say that critical thinking and communication are the top skills they look for, 3 different surveys say that between 45 and 75% of the managers say that the recent grads that they've been hiring have poor skills. And that's an issue. What's more disconcerting is in 2 of those studies, 2/3 to 80% of the managers said that the recent grads that they've hired rated themselves proficient. So the problem is that the young people in the workforce, the last generation really working, don't even realize they have this issue. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
So let me ask you something on the critical thinking side. Yeah. I'm a liberal arts girl, Jim. That's my background.
Okay.
And I know that for a long time now, the world has been very focused, and I understand it, on the STEM benefits.
Oh, you nailed it. Yeah.
What's that again?
I said you nailed it. That's one of the issues.
Okay, because if you happen to be a history major in college, you're learning an awful lot of critical thinking different from a trade necessarily.
Correct. Well, what I say is there's two different parts of this issue. One is critical thinking, and the other is communication. And when it comes to critical thinking, an awful lot of the education system really doesn't teach it that much. And specifically when it gets into, you're right, the organizations are focused, and the colleges are focused on the STEM courses, science, technology, engineering, and math. And what they have learned is that with the problems with communication and even some of the critical thinking, because they had to knock out something. There's only a finite number of courses, so they knocked out the arts. Now there's a movement to bring back the arts and call them STEAM courses.
Well, now there's also something you were sharing with me about the power of mentoring. And I guess it seems like COVID maybe brought us closer in a crazy way to this human need to connect with people because we were isolated for so long. But you believe strongly in the power of mentorships.
Yes, I do. And part of that reason is I was very fortunate that my very first marketing boss was a brilliant woman named Connie Humphrey. And the beauty of marketing to me is it's a disciplined approach to problem solving. And what she did on one of the first days is say to me, critical thinking and communication are the 2 most important things you need to do. And that's still true today. But she gave me a very simple form, the 1-page, 10-step marketing brief. And the beauty of that one form is that you can actually structure your thinking and be able to both think critically and communicate well. And what I learned is that years later, that simple form that she mentored me with, I was mentoring others. So as the years went on, I thought, isn't this unbelievable? And one of my favorite things to do was to train young people as well. And that whole thing continues on. So really my approach, rather than going top down, is to try and talk to executives and ask them to join the mentor movement, to pick a protege and to make a difference. And it'll not only help the protege, it also makes us feel fulfilled as well.
Well, because I know you just used the word fulfilled. I had used that a lot at the beginning of the conversation because it does seem like we've kind of transitioned from the days where your job or your career was a line on a paper. that people are wanting to be seen as the complete human being that they are, and
Right.
each person comes in with their own different strengths and weaknesses. So grab the strength, and then they can be fulfilled in using it.
Yes, and part of my strategy to try and get the books out is what I've learned is that the young people who need it, as I said before, they don't know they need it. So the purpose of this is to pick a protege and use the book and read it and sign it at the end and give it to somebody that you think needs it. Pick that protege and then ask them to do the same thing. So it's kind of a viral approach, because going top down through corporations, the educational system is hard. Is if everybody starts passing this along, read it, sign it, and move forward, I think we can have a dramatic impact.
I think that you're right. So where can we get the book?
Well, the easiest place is go to getyourducksinarow.com, and in the warning, you need to say R-O-W and spell it R-O-W-E like my last name.
Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. Congratulations on the book, and here's to us adapting in the days to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Zaxby's new funnel cakes are fried to perfection, dusted with powdered sugar, and served with a caramel sauce. Which means you can have your funnel cake and